Hello, everyone. My name is Juan Velásquez. I am full professor with the Industrial Engineering Department at University of Chile. Today, I want to share with you some thought about how we can use artificial intelligence to improve the healthcare in the future of the medicine. My personal motivation is related to the thinking on how we can to cure the disease versus the prevention of the disease. And also, there is a new approach in the medicine that is a more that is changing how we can to tackle a big problem that is the cure of the disease or maintain the health, etc. That is the future of the medicine must be preventive, participatory, predictive, and personalized. During the talk, I will try to explain a little bit about how we can introduce every one of that, right? The artificial intelligence can a big possibility now to process a huge amount of data related with the health. For instance, the data that is collected from the DNA, the electronic medical record, the environmental data, etc. So, well, this is two of my heroes, the artificial intelligence, Professor Alan Turing, that in the 50s was thinking what happened is machine can to learn like a human being, and also Professor McCarthy that put the coin for the artificial intelligence definition. That is the science and engineering for making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs. Okay. So two branches here that is important to remember. The first is the virtual artificial intelligence is related or mainly with algorithms that we are creating. And the second one is the physical artificial intelligence. It's more related with the robot, the typical robot that we see in many presentations. So what is intelligence? There is a lot of definition about intelligence, the capacity to forgive with answer, the ability to have a abstract thinking. But my favorite one is intelligence is learning plus reasoning. Learning is how we can to teach to the machines, the machine, how the machine can learn about from the data. And the reasoning is more complex one. And I hope, well, maybe never we can to do something about the reasoning. Okay. Well, the artificial intelligence for medicine is related with the data that we produce related with healthcare, right? So it focuses in mainly in how we can to process this big amount of data to give some patterns, some insight, some new information for different kind of user. The first one is the medical doctors, of course, that they is taking decisions with the patient. Or also with the patient can receive also information to maintain the health, and continue with the researchers. Okay, continue with a lot of possible user. Well, artificial intelligence is using to process the amount of data to support decision in radiology, nephrology, nutrition, etc. The learning process is very straightforward. That's how we can do this. From the raw data, that collection of data, we select a part of that data to prepare our training set. This training set is divided in three parts. Around the 70% of the data is for training process, to training the model. The 20% is for validation of the model. And finally, the 10% is for testing the new model. When the model is ready, for instance, a classification model, we come to put the model in production. That model can give to that kind of users different advice, different insight or information for making decision. Well, in the case of medicine, the machine learning is faces with a lot of possibility. We don't find in the drug research, in the gene sequence, of course, in the medical test. And the data that is collecting now is showing for different ways. If in a tablet here, we have a dashboard. We can show also from the mobile systems, the smartphone. We collect also data from the social media in order to understand what's happening with the population. Okay. Well, we're facing a lot of data. From this, the big data problem for health is the data related with the health only will increase in size, in complexity, always increase, more data, more data. And as you see here, we collect for the electronic medical healthcare records from the pharmacy, claims, DNA sequences, etc. So in that case, why artificial intelligence for medicine? In 2016, the high artificial intelligence project related with medicine attract more that investment that another project related to another sector of the economy. Why? Because with artificial intelligence, we can optimize the clinical decision making by using data relating with the health. And these have a lot of good things there because you can save persons, you can improve the system, you can improve the delivery, etc., etc. And behind to that, there is a lot of another possibility to and reduce the cost. So the artificial intelligence in medicine also can give a new way to tackle different problems in health. Imagine that situation. There is a person that have a big headache. The person say to the friend, "Hey, I have a big headache." The friend think, what can I do?" And the friend remember that he has some pills. That pills was the medical doctor gave to him 1 or 2 months ago. Well, say to the friend, use the pill because it's for the health. Several question there. What person must use the same pill? What about the historical records, medical records? What about the any contradictions, etc.? So we are focused now in the change. How is the training? The training must be personalized. That means for person by person. The data that we can collect from artificial intelligence is a huge one. We have right here electronic medical records, environmental records, imaging tomography, for instance, time series like electroencephalogram. And by applying different kind of tools from artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning too, that is a new ways. In the case of machine learning with high capacity for processing complex data, and the delivery is for different kind of user. This patient, we are calling now the small patient and the medical doctor here and personal people that is related with the health. So they can take and make decision, better decision. So the 4P medicine say, well, that new approach is more participatory. Now you are not a reactive patient, you are a more proactive patient, and also to your family must give some support there, some support from the data. Okay, predictive. I can predict also, we can predict also some possible risk of the disease by using data that is, for instance, in the DNA. Preventive, for instance, in the case of vaccine, the vaccine can prevent some possible future disease. And personalized. It's like the marketing one-on-one. Give the correct training, the correct pill to the correct person. Every one of these need data, quality data from the health. Some application that we are running now in my laboratory is related with the application in medicine. This is a new approach. The first one, we are using the social network analysis to model a complex situation, a complex phenomenon, such as the marijuana and alcohol consumption. So these two figures here show the situation in Chile. We are the first around the world that in prevalence of marijuana, and the first ones considered in the case of alcohol. That is a big problem for us. So every 2 years, we have the national survey, that collect a lot of data about the prevalence and consumption of drugs and alcohol. It's a very heavy cost that we have with this. But another issue, every 2 years, we create new regulation, new politics related with the prevention of the consumption of the drug. but we need to wait and stick to blind during 2 years if we want to see if this political or regulation work or not work. Okay? So we thinking if we collect data from Twitter and Instagram, we can model that complex problem in order to give some insight to the authorities, because waiting 2 years is a long time. And well, the artificial intelligence solution is taking the data that is collected from the Twitter, and in that case from Instagram. Well, it's a little bit technical, that's why I showed here, but it's only an application for collecting the data from Instagram and also for Twitter. Well, how we can collect the data related with marijuana or alcohol? We need to teach to the machine to detect the tweets related with marijuana and alcohol, and also with the, in the case of Instagram. This is a little bit of children's slang, so we are use different kind of specific word to fix in the classification of the machine and the classificator for selecting the data. And after that, we collect the data, we process the data, and as you see here, the blue line is the national survey every 2 years, right? And the yellow one is our system. The system is, well, also is every 2 years, but the system can collect data and show information from the last year, from the last semester, for the last month, every day, and maybe every hour. So this is powerful that had the artificial intelligence for modeling a very complex problem, phenomenon like the marijuana and alcohol consumption. The second application that I want to show you is about the donor detection, that we developed an application for detecting donors. Well, in Chile, the situation is if you are, when you are alive and you decide to become donor when you pass away, well, if your family say no, you are not donor, well, you are not donor. 50% of the family say no, you are not donor. Okay. Well, we are looking for what happened in the process. Well, in the process, for the procuring process, that is the technical name for detecting the possible donor, we have the 87% of the possible donor are not detected. So the 13% that are detected, and the person say, and the family say no, we are only losing the 6.5%. So the big problem is here, the detection. So what we create by using the artificial intelligence tools, we create an application. Okay, that application, the name is Kefuri. Kefuri means kidney in Mapudungun, is what is the original habitat language here in Chile. And the application gives an interface. Here is the Glasgow scale. The Glasgow scale shows to you if how bad is the situation with the possible donor. That is show you the possible donor, the possible detection of that donor. We are using that application in different public hospitals now. We started in 2019. We have now 6 hospitals that we are running with them, the use of that application. Well, after the 2.5 years, we are detecting 240 possible donors, but for these possible donors, only 37 will become effective donors, because there is some special condition for that the person that passed away can become also a donor, right? Maybe 37 is not a huge amount of effective new donors that we detect, but the meaning is we can to detect, and it's possible to procure 63 kidney, 28 liver, 18 lungs, etc. We say the application allowed to say 154 persons. That is the power of the artificial intelligence when you use in the correct way. Final thought. Well, we are working with data but the special kind of data, the data that we come from the health of the person, personal data. We must be very, very careful with that data. We're trying to change the paradigm from the cure the disease to maintain the health. Okay, so we need to process this kind of data in ethical way. If we want to create that new medicine, it's necessary to share the knowledge with a multidisciplinary team, because not only doctors, medical doctor here is another professional, a health professional that is involved, but also engineers, data science, the designers, etc. This is a tremendous technology of power, and we must take with a great responsibility. So the processing of data must be, the health data must be so in a very ethical way, an ethical manner, okay? Because in other case, we can to make some very, very bad things, right? Artificial intelligence is not a simple technological change. It's an era change. And have a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, and also ugly things. Well, thank you very much for attending the talk, and I hope to see you in the future. Thanks.